One of the most crucial steps in our lean journey was when we first learned about the fundamental concept of value versus non-value. Very often, a value-added activity is described as any activity that your customer will be willing to pay for. Or in a manufacturing environment like ours, one of the most common descriptions of a value-added activity is whenever the product is changing. So with this in mind, value is only being added when we carry out a task or process which changes the product. To help you understand this a little better, let's look at the process of how we would make a typical shed flashing from start to finish. So the very first thing we do is we get our cutting list. On the way back, our operator resets the machine light guards. We check the order and see what size and colour the flashing is we want to make. We then walk over to the rack and take the size sheet we want to use, turn around and place it on a bed of the guillotine. We type in the width we want to cut, turn on the machine hydraulics and push the sheet into the backstops. We then push the foot pedal, and at this point the blade comes down and cuts through the material. The blade only takes 3 seconds to cut through the material, and this 3 seconds is now the first piece of value that we've added to this process so far. From there, the operator walks around the machine and collects the cut sheet. We check the part is cut to the correct measurements and then place it in the folder. We select the correct program on the machine control panel and again push the sheet into the backstops. We then push the foot pedal for the first time, which clamps the material. We push the foot pedal again for a second time, which then bends the material. This bending process also takes about 3 seconds to complete, and it's now the second piece of value that's been added here. This part is folded 2 more times before it's finished, and the full task takes a total of 140 seconds to complete. Of that total time, approximately only 12 seconds are value added, and the remaining 128 seconds is non-value added activity. Only 10% of this task is value added activity. That means that over 90% of this task is non-value added activity or waste. This will apply to almost any task we carry out in any area of our business. And on average, 90% of everything we do is waste. This was a really crucial learning moment for us, and understanding the distinction between value and non-value added activities is fundamental. The secret is not to go faster at the value, but it's learning to identify the non-value and working every day to find ways of reducing it.